So, good day, everyone. This is our first class on understanding the CorelDRAW interface. So, like I said earlier, CorelDRAW is one of the application packages used for designs, and in fact, it's one of the most popular application packages used for designs. So, we have various versions of CorelDRAW. We have X7, the likes, 20, X20, 2021, 2024, and the likes. So, but for the sake of those of us that will not have the latest versions, so we will be using CorelDRAW X7 for the purpose of this website design class. So when you open your CorelDRAW application, you will see this interface. So this welcome interface. So here we have for new documents. So if you are using other versions, it will bring different things actually, but you can as well relate with it. So here we have to create new documents, to create from templates, because CorelDRAW have some templates that you can use. So you can create from templates, you can use new documents, and you can open recent documents. So these are some of the designs I've made earlier. So you can quickly go there and continue your work or edit them, because they are recent designs. I've made, and then you can open others from your file. So let's go on to create a new document. So now when you create a new document, this dialog box will be brought. So for here, this is our name. So you can name our file. Let's say we have let's say DSA graphics class, right? So yeah, this we have the preset class, so it's always left as custom. It's better to leave as custom like this, right? So now for the size of our paper, of our workspace, which I will also be discussing in this video, you can create custom, and you can choose from already existing sizes of papers. So if you are conversant with paper, we have A0, we have A1, we have A2, we have A4, just like the A4 paper we do use. So we have the likes here. So let me just leave it as custom, right? Just leave it as custom. Then the width and the height of the size as well. We will discuss this later in this video. And we have the pixels. We have the number of pages we want to have in our document. We can have one page, we can have two, we can have as much pages as possible, right? Then we have the primary color mode. If you were in the introductory class, I discussed the color mode, the RGB and CMYK. If the design you want to make is meant to be shared online, like a digital design that will not be printed, then you should use RGB. Then if your design is meant to be printed, like you want to print the design or stuff like that, so you can make use of the CMYK color mode. So, and then we have the rendering resolution. So it's what's meant by resolution is that the higher the resolution, the clearer your design is, or the sharper or the higher the quality of your design. So the highest is 300 for CorelDRAW, so just leave it at 300, and then yes, you can just click OK. So here we have our website design interface. So we're looking at these bars one after the other, and we'll be explaining in detail as well. So let's start with the bars. Yes, we have the menu bar here. So for the menu bar, we have the different options we can select. So we have the new from template, we have the open, we have open recent. So these are the recent designs I made with CorelDRAW. So you can just hop onto any of these designs from here. We have close all, and the like. So we can go through those ones. Then we have the edit under the menu bar. Edit. So we have the view option as well. We have the layout. So where you can duplicate your page, where you can set up your page, you can switch the orientation of your page. And then we have the object, we have the effect. We'll be treating this one after. We have the bitmap, we have the text option, table, tools, window, and help. So those are the options on the menu bar. So here we have the status bar, where we have the new, we have stuff like this. Yeah, we have the status bar. So and then we have the property bar here. So you would realize that this is custom, right? Okay, we have the we have the custom. That's for our workspace size, and our workspace size is the size of our paper that we want to print on, or the size of our design we want to make. So we have, let's say we have B5 paper size B5. I'm coming. So paper size B5, this is paper size B5, right? Just disregard this size, right? It's B5 as it is. So now the properties of this page are what? It is B5, right? The page dimension is 182.0 millimeter by 257.0 millimeter. That's the dimension, the height and the width. The height and the width and the height rather. So it is 182 millimeter in width and it is 257 millimeter in height. So, and this is the page orientation. Is it portrait or landscape? So we can switch between portrait and landscape. We have this as landscape. So portrait is vertical, landscape is horizontal. So we also have the pages we have in this page, or in this document. So we can have as many pages as possible. We can have as many pages as possible, right? So yeah. So when we have more than one page, when we have 1, 2, or 3 page, we have these icons. Is to switch between the current page and the like. Now, the unit of this our dimension is millimeter. So if you are conversant with designs, you would realize that, let's say banners are always measured in feet, right? So you switch this to feet if you want to design a banner, and then you come back to this place. Let's say you want to design a banner of a 10 by 10 or a 10 by, let's say a 10 by 5 feet banner. So this is the width. That means the width of the banner will be 10, and then the height of the banner will be 5. So remember that we've changed this to feet. So you just click enter. So the banner size is there. Let me just reduce it and you see. So this is how the banner will look like. This is the workspace for the banner, and this is the size of the banner. Yeah, so this is it. So you can also have other dimensions. We can have inches, we can have pixels, we can have meter, centimeter, kilometer, and the likes. So but most times we use inches for flyers and the likes. For example, we use inches, yes. So that's it about the property bar. That's about. Let me change this back to B5. B5. So there. So, coming. So this is B5, and it is in portrait orientation. I can switch this to landscape. So we can have our design here. So now you should remember that whenever you design, you are meant to design on the workspace here. You are meant to design on the workspace. So if your design is outside this place, it will not, if you want to export your design, it will not be exported with the design. Also, if you want to print any element or any part of your design that is outside this workspace will not be counted as your design and will not be printed out. So you are meant to design inside this workspace. So that's why we have the workspace size as your paper size. So if you design on a B5 workspace, you are meant to print it on B5, or you change it if you want. So now you would realize that when nothing was selected, we add the properties of the page we are designing on. But once you select a particular element in your design, then the property of that particular element will be displayed as against the property of the workspace. Let me take that again. When I did not select anything on this page like this, the property of the workspace was displayed as B5, and then it was as B5. Then the property, the dimensions in 10 by 7 inches, it's in landscape and all these ones. So when I selected this, the property of this particular shape, this rectangle that I selected, will be displayed. So that's why we call this the property bar. We call this the property bar. So let's take the properties one after the other. We have this as the object position. What is the position of this particular object I selected in relation to the workspace? So to the x-axis is it to the x-axis it is 4.921 in relation to the x-axis, and 4.856 in relation to the y-axis. Then the size of this object. This object is what? It is 7.15 inches in width and 2.10 inches in. So if you want to decrease this now, you can just come here. Let's say the person you are designing for said, just what I want you to design for me is just a rectangle on a B5 paper in landscape, and the size of the rectangle should be 2 by 4 inches. So now you just drill your rectangle on your workspace like this, and you're like, how do I even know the size? So the person said 2 by 4 inches, right? So you just come here for the width 2, and then for the height we have 4. So we have this as 2 by 4 inches, right? So now that's it. Then this particular property is for the angle of rotation of the object. We can change this to 50 degree. You see that it's rotated, and you can as well rotate it from here. When you select your object, you select it once, right? You left click on it once, you left click on it again, so the rotation icon will be activated. So you can rotate it, and then this will indicate the angle of rotation, right? Angle of rotation. So that's it. Okay, so we can also mirror any object. We can mirror any object. We can mirror horizontally and we can mirror vertically. So we have this. This may not really show. Let me show, just to show us how the mirroring works. Now you see that I've changed this particular shape. I've like the other end of this one is somehow curved. Now let's look at the mirror rotation. You see now that this part it has been mirrored horizontally. So that's the use of mirroring. So I can mirror. Yeah, you could see this is vertical mirroring. So I've mirrored vertically, I can mirror horizontally. So that's how it works. Now for this particular shape too, we have this round corner, we have this scalloped corner, and we have this chamfered corner. So if you want to, like, the corner of your shape, you want to make it a round one, you want to make it a scalloped one, you want to make it a chamfered one, so you can use this. So once you this is your shape, right? So you just select any of these. This is round, this is scalloped. So this is, I've made this one round already. Let me make this scalloped. So this is chamfered. You can see it now that so now you wanted to, let's say you want to make all the let me change this back to 0. Good. So I want to make all the sides of this shape round now. So this particular corner radius is for the, what's it called? This particular corner radius is for this upper side. It's for this upper side. This one is for this lower side. This one is for this upper side there at the right, and this one is for this lower side at the right. Now I want to make them scalloped. I want to make this upper side scalloped. I can just like this. You could see it's scalloped already. I also want to make this scalloped. Let's say 0.25. Good. I want to make this scalloped as well. So 0.2, I can change it. But instead of changing one after the other, just click on this padlock icon. Like, it will apply the property to all the corners. It will apply the properties to all the corners. So once it does that, I'm coming. We have this as 0. Okay. So now let's apply 0.25. Remember, I've locked this, so it will apply it to all the corners. You see that? To apply it to all the corners. And this is the outline property of any shape. The outline width. If I change this to 16 pixels now, you realize that the outline is bolder and bigger. So I can reduce this as well. I can change this to 1, I can change it to 2, I can change it to airline. So primarily your shapes will likely be in 2 pixel. Yeah, 2 pixel. So that's it. So that's for the property bar. So once you select any you see that the property it displayed, the property menus it displayed for this particular shape is different from this particular shape. So you can see all these ones. So you can just play around all those properties, right? So now that's about the property bar. Then we have the tools bar. The tools bar in CorelDRAW is located at the left hand side here, right? So we have the pick tool, which is used in selecting position, in selecting an object, putting it in a particular position and transforming the object. So we also have the shape tool, which is used to edit a particular object, to curve object, or to, we'll be taking the tools one after the other. Then we have the crop tool, we have the zoom tool, we have the freehand tool, which is used to draw curves and straighten line segments. We have the artistic media tool, which is also used to add artistic brush to spray and for calligraphic effects by using freehand strokes as well. We have the rectangle tool, which is used to draw rectangle, draw squares by dragging the, yeah, we'll pick the tools one after the other. We have the ellipse tool, we have the polygon tools, the text tool, then the parallel dimension tool, the straight line connector tool, the drop shadow tools, and the like. So if you look at these tools, you will see that some of them have this particular, what's it called, small icon below them. If you click on those icons, more tools will be revealed. So more tools will be revealed. If you look at these, we'll see more tools under this, we'll see more tools under this. So that's how the CorelDRAW X7 interface is. So going to the right side, we have the color palette. So let's select this and give it a color. So you can use it to select any color you want. If you give this red, right, give it this red, we have this color palette. Then we have this, you can select this, give it any color, and yeah, so the colors are much, you can check them out. The colors, these are default color palettes. You can also mix colors. So when we get to the color tool, we will know how to mix colors in CorelDRAW and to arrive at a particular color, to use color codes and the likes. Yes, so those are the colors. So once any color you pick will also be added to the what's it called, the document colors, the color palette you've added. I think this is called the status bar, and the status bar, no, the standard bar, something like that. Yeah, so we have this, so the colors right now. What else? Now let's have a look at the paper sizes again. I'm coming. Let's try to understand the paper sizes again. Now you realize that when I was on this is my page 1. So when I move to page 2, you would see that the element that was on my workspace in page 1 is no more on my workspace in page 2, but the element that was outside the workspace still appeared in page 2. So that's how CorelDRAW works. These elements in outside your workspace will be regarded as the elements of your document, while this one inside the workspace will be regarded as the elements of this particular design that you are doing. So if you move to page 2 now, you realize that these two yellow circles or spheres will still be there in page 2 because they do not belong to the design. They only belong to they belong to the document. But this one will not be in page 2 because it only belongs to the workspace in page 1, right? So let me show us the paper sizes.